One night I was headed home and I don't remember anything from that night. I was getting ready to pull out of the driveway and the next thing I remember is waking up into the ICU and not knowing where anybody was.
I got the phone call and they had told me that Sarah had been in an accident and that they needed me to meet them at the hospital, that they were on their way there with her. And I didn't realize how bad it was because they had told me, the medic had told me that Sarah had actually given them my phone number. So at some point she was awake enough to be able to communicate that to them. So in my mind, I didn't think it was nearly as bad.
She took probably about 14 or 15 units of blood altogether throughout her whole entire stay, which is not uncommon with a severity of injuries that she had.
I kept looking for reassurances and I kept asking him, well, is she going to be okay? Is she going to be okay? And at one point he just told me, he says, we're just trying to keep her alive for the next 5 minutes.
I started taking care of Sarah, I want to say around maybe her 36-hour mark with us in the ICU. It was a day of big surgery for her.
When he came out after that surgery, I mean, he told us everything was going to be okay, and I remember Grandpa standing up and going, all right, doing his thumbs up, and we were just like all practically cheering in the room. Yeah. And I just remember asking him, can I hug you?
For trauma, it usually happens in the middle of the night when nobody's here, and that's when you need it the most, and the blood bank is always available to help us.
We were still at the point of taking things one day at a time. Initially it was 1 hour at a time. It got to be 1 day at a time.
Before my accident, I didn't know how big of an impact it was to have blood donated. I know I did it in high school a few times and I went through the process and it felt good. I mean, you also got a t-shirt also. And I was like, I never really knew the impact it had on people outside of that. People went in there in our gym, we just donated blood, and we felt great after and thought that we were making a difference, but now putting it into real life perspective that, wow, that actually goes to something. It goes towards somebody in a hospital, somebody that is in need of the blood, I didn't realize how big that little donation I did before could actually impact somebody's life.
The PLU cheer squad came and brought Sarah's uniform and all the girls showed up.
They had t-shirts made for me, wristbands made for me.
Cascade Christian, they did that.
Yeah.
And the PLU football coach showed up at our house with a banner that all the football players had signed. I mean, Sarah wasn't even starting school at PLU yet. She had just been accepted and had been, practicing with the cheer squad. I mean, one day when we had come home and Sarah was having a down day, which was very seldom. I mean, she did really, really good.
I think it was the day that they said, just a few more weeks on your pelvis and you can walk. And I was hoping that was the day that I could walk. And they told me a few more weeks. I was like, Mom.
Yeah.
So then she took me shopping.
I did. I said, we are not staying in this house. We are going to, she's like.
She lifted me and put me into the car, drove me to the mall, put me in my wheelchair, and we just went. And I was like, some of my clothes got ruined in the accident, so she bought me a new pair of shorts and a new purse. But I mean, it helps. Yeah.
News had come to her graduation, of which the first responders who were there the night of her accident also came to her graduation. They actually lifted her wheelchair up and put it on stage for her to be wheeled across the stage.
I never really thought that I couldn't do anything that I did before. People would write in books and be like, I'm so sorry, that you probably won't be able to cheer again. And I was like, I don't know why I wouldn't be able to. And so it was just not really thinking about that I couldn't do it, but how I could get there to do it rather than not do it at all.
Sarah is one of those people that we love to have as trauma patient because she is extremely motivated. She has a great positive attitude that really helped her in her recovery process.
Sarah's had some surgery since to continue her recovery. But the last time I saw her was, I mean, she looked amazing, absolutely amazing. And I think, you know, she's a living testament to what these services do for people.
The 1 year mark of Sarah's accident, so in May of 2013, we went and met with the first responders. So we went out to East Pierce Fire and Rescue, and we took cupcakes and stuff and met with all of them and actually got to hear their side of the story.
Everything's starting to get back into like a normal pattern, something that I'm comfortable with, rather than last year it was surgery on Friday, I'd cheer on Saturday, test on Monday. It was just overwhelming trying to get back into like a normal how I would have been before, but now accepting that, you know, maybe I have to rearrange some things, but being back into trying to get my normal life back.
The importance of giving blood isn't the moment when your family member's in the hospital, but it's that month before when you go in to give. So I think sooner rather than later is, you know, having that supply on stock is so much more important than in the moment that you need it.
I think this is an opportunity for me to like reach out and say thank you to everybody that could have participated in giving me blood, and that was a huge part that kind of goes unnoticed, because everything else, everyone is there participating. You can say thank you to them right up front, but here it's kind of, now it's kind of an opportunity to say thank you to everybody that participated in that, but I wasn't able to put a name, a face to it, but I know that everyone participates to bring in that for people like me.
I want to thank everybody who made a contribution by giving, you know, I always say a little part of themselves, and without their generous donations, you know, we would not be able to do our job as well.
Sarah has, because of her trauma, she has become part of the Patient and Family Advocacy Council here at Tacoma General. So I've gotten the blessing of being able to see her progress and become a young lady, and it's been, I think that alone's been a gift to us.
Blood donors saved my granddaughter's life.
Blood donors saved my daughter's life.
Blood donors saved my life.
Give blood, save lives.
Give blood, save lives.